Hey, how you doing there again, folks? You get, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler platter video series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. We're over there to try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, and I talk about stuff. I let you know all that you need to know, or at least some reasonable facsimile of all that you need to know about foods and drinks and stuff like that that you might be interested in trying or not, and just want to see me consume and talk about. That's what I do. Well, I do so. I got a Peter Can Thunderbolt poster. I got some Marvel figures up there. There's an old ladder. There's a hamster set up over there. My little girl Shizuru might see her pop by. I'm wearing a cool shirt today, folks. Still rocking the Texas Hippie Coalition shirt. Great band. Absolutely check them out. Fantastic. What am I doing for y'all today, folks? Well, I've been trying some sodas lately. Went over there, did some CBD root beer. Tried out some alternative sodas with probiotics and all that stuff and everything. You know what, folks? It's time to get back to some old school soda, okay? Some proper soda. And we're not just talking like your standard Pepsi or 7 Up here. No, folks. We're going way the fuck back. Boom! We are trying out some Moxie from 1884. This shit is over 100 years old. Ha ha. And I actually looked into this a little bit. I guess like a lot of like the old sodas, like it started off as like a remedy for things, and then it was like, I don't think it's actually a remedy for things. So they went over there and put soda water in it, and then it became like its own drink, and then there are like a bunch of different flavors. Apparently, there's ice cream of this, which I found out while I was looking it up, which is neat. Um, it's also like it's like the state drink of Maine, which is pretty crazy. I think Stephen King's a big fan of it, or at the very least is aware of it, what with him being all about the Maine. So yeah, now here's the thing, caveat folks, most of the stuff that I try, I'm trying out for the first time. In this case, however, I have had Moxie before. Back, God, probably about 7 or 8 years ago now. It's been a bit. I was actually watching an episode of the reality TV show American Pickers, and one point in time they found an old Moxie I can't think of what the hell to call it, like a little mini freaking poster thing for Moxie, but it was like really old. I can't. My brain is filled with soda right now, and I'd never heard of Moxie, but I saw that and I was like, okay. So I went over there, I looked it up. Turns out, hey, it's still a drink. It's still around. I ordered a 12 pack of it. I had a 12 pack. History is history. Now, two things. I haven't had Moxie in, I'm going to say, at least 2 years. They do carry it at Rocket Fizz. In fact, that's where I got this. I've done some videos from stuff from there before, different sodas. They're a great shop out of St. Charles, Illinois. I think they have some other locations. Absolutely check them out. I 100%. I love them. They also have like weird candies and stuff like that too, but their soda is really their big thing. And so I haven't had it in a while, so I'm still going into this relatively blind. Other thing, I have a funny story about this, or at least mildly amusing, maybe. Like I said, I went over there, I got a 12 pack of this stuff. I had it, and I went over there, they're in cans. I went over there, I gave my dad one. And I was like, hey, give it a shot, He tried it, did not like it very much, was what it was. So, I would grab one every now and again. But I waited because it was like, I had to order this damn thing in. Not something I'm going to do very often. Because at that time, I wasn't aware of Rocket Fizz or anything like that. So I would hold off on these. Grab one periodically, maybe share one with someone every now and again. And finally got to the point where, I had my last, two. And I went over there. I had me and my dad, I was renting space at the time. And we went over there. I had my little section of the fridge, just a little corner on the door. And I'd store, my hot sauces and, occasionally if I had a weird soda or something like that. That's where I stored my Moxie. So I went over there. I drank one of them. I had one left. And I specifically went over there one day. I almost drank it because there wasn't really anything else to drink in the house. So, but I was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna save this. Went over there. I think I went to the Speedway or something like that. Got something to drink. Fast forward to the next day. I get off work, tired, I'm wore out. All I want in the world, go in, grab myself a Moxie. Right? The last one. Go in, it's gone. My dad drank it. Because you see, he was faced with a similar dilemma as I was, wherein there wasn't anything else in the house to drink. So he decided to go over there and drink my drink, which was in my spot, which was the last of my drinks, that he didn't even like. Still remember that. That pissed me off so much. Like, that ruined my day. Anyway, I'm going to try a drink. So look at that guy. He's a guy. And this is actually where the term Moxie comes from, believe it or not. This is the origin of the word Moxie. I don't know if it's screw off or not. Nope. That's okay. Keys. I don't have a bottle opener, but I do have an electric cabinet key. There we go. Now, if I recall correctly, it's been a while. I know this is like flavored with some sort of root, and in the Wikipedia article, they're like, oh, it has like a similar kind of thing to root beer. That's not what the hell I've ever taken away from it. For me, it has sort of a floral taste to it, like a very kind of flowery aspect of it. So, and getting a waft of it, that's what I'm remembering. Because the thing with Moxie is, for me personally, it's a once in a while type of drink. Sorry. It's not something I would go to just because. But every now and again, it's something I really want. So, because it's definitely weird. Like, it's unlike any conventional soda that you've had. I can promise you that. All right. Yeah. It's so weird. Because, like, it's sweet, and then there's, like, a floral aspect of it, and then there's, like, a bitterness to it, too. It's so bizarre. Like, it doesn't taste like anything else I've ever had. I mean, I know it, like I said, it's flavored with some sort of a root. It's nothing like root beer. And even as, like, an offshoot of root beer, like birch beer, it's not anything like birch beer. It's definitely its own thing. It's very weird, but it is good. But, like, for me, I mean, I imagine if I were from Maine and I didn't get written into a Stephen King novel somehow, I imagine if I grew up with this stuff, I'd probably be more attuned to it. But even as is, like I said, I do like it. It's just, it's a once in a while kind of drink. It's just, but it's smooth. It doesn't have like a weird aftertaste or anything. It's just got sort of a bitterness to it. So it is a weird mix of sort of sweet and floral and bitter. But it definitely has the taste of an old-timey type soda. This is one of those sodas where it's like, you know what? If they were to come out with this now, I don't think it would make much headway because it's too bizarre, it's too different from the conventional sodas that we've grown up with. But because it's got that old pedigree, like Dr. Pepper and Coca-Cola, even though those are somewhat weird sodas, in terms of like their very unique flavors, you can get away with it. But with Moxie, it's definitely just its own thing. I would imagine it's a pretty acquired taste, but it's, like I said, I do enjoy it. Every now and again, I do enjoy a Moxie. I guess there's an energy drink. There's a bunch of discontinued flavors. Apparently, there's other flavors too. So I might look into those at some point in time. I've only ever found like the stock Moxie. If I can find the ice cream or the other flavors or something like that, I'd be really interested to try those because it is good. But it's so weird. Now here's the thing, folks. Would I recommend Moxie to the general public? Probably not. For one thing, the soda landscape is changing. Like I said, it's a probiotic soda and everything. Most people are trying to kind of bring down the sugar intake and stuff like that. I mean, this is 25 grams of sugar. So you've got that working against it to begin with. But even going beyond that, just the normal taste-wise, I would say, I guess I wouldn't say I wouldn't recommend it, but try it. If you run into it, whether you're passing through Maine or if you're at a specialty soda store, if you're interested, absolutely try it. Because it is such a unique experience. And if you like it, there's just nothing else like it. So it is that one-of-a-kind experience. The thing is, though, do I think it'll be super palatable to most people? Again, if you've grown up with conventional sodas, I don't think so. I think it's just a bit too bizarre. And in my experience with, sharing it with other people, that's been the case. People have either really, really liked it, or they really, really not. One person I gave it to said that it tasted like bubblegum to him. So I don't know. I don't know, folks. For me, like I said, it's floral, it's bitter, and then there's also, kind of a sweetness to it. So I wouldn't expect, if you're going to try it, I wouldn't expect going into it and it being your favorite soda of all time. But it might be also. That's the thing. It's one of those toss-up sodas. I think you're either really going to like it or you're really not going to like it. Unless you're from Maine, in which case I think Stephen King has decreed that you legally have to like it. So anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me. If you could, 5 things for me before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, stupendous rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, tremendous rest of your year. If you could go over there and have yourself a life full of Moxie. See, I can do this. Look at the guy. Look at the guy. I love that the Moxie guy is like this stern, father-looking figure. Like the dad from Leave It to Beaver. Yeah, well, the dad from Leave It to Beaver wasn't that stern, but every now and again he'd be like, Beav, you need to go over there and, not hang out with that Eddie Haskell fellow. Oh, I'm just old enough to have that stuff in my brain. Final 2 things for me, folks. If you could, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what do you do if you can't do it all the times? I know I can't do it all the time. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in your life. I think that's pretty reasonable for most people. You're going to have your bad days. 100%. It's going to happen. Okay, I went over there not too long ago, a few weeks back now. I was driving, making my way out of a parking lot, made my way through. Guy was coming to the lane, going pretty quick. Didn't appreciate me cutting in. Quite fucking frankly, he can kiss my ass. He was going way too goddamn fast anyway. But he didn't appreciate it. I didn't appreciate him not appreciating it, so I went over there and threw up the bird. I'm okay with throwing up the bird, ladies and gentlemen. I'll do it. He then countered by going over there and throwing his drink at my car. Which, luckily, with it being winter at the time I'm doing this, my window was up because if it hadn't been, flat out would have gone straight in my window and hit me. And then I got frustrated to the extent where I was like, you know what, if you want to do this, we can do this. Nothing ended up happening. He turned off and I went on my way. That was a whole sequence of events between myself and the other gentleman and his asshole friend who threw his fucking drink at me. That didn't need to happen. We needed to mitigate the level of assholishness in our life. So you're going to fail. It's going to happen. Final thing for me, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to do. Maybe you're going to go over there and you're going to visit a sleepy town in Maine. You're going to pick up some Moxie. But then it's going to go over there and turn out that it's not really Moxie. And that while you were drinking it, you fell asleep and all the other people in the town disappeared except for you and the guy from Quantum Leap, but not Scott Bakula, his one sidekick guy who sadly died, the actor. And then it's going to go over there. It's going to turn out that there's the Langoliers, and then there's going to be a clown and a spider, other Stephen King references, and you'll be drinking Moxie. Or maybe don't do that. Maybe go over there and repair a Ferris wheel or something. Bye.